Welcome to the Top M&A Entrepreneurs Deal Review. I have Kesley and Christy McDaniel from the Magnolia Firm to talk about a new business they have. But before we do that, make sure if you like this content, hit the subscribe button and the bell if you want to be notified of brand new content coming out. So without further ado, let's talk to Christine about this new deal you have out. What is this company?
Yeah, we are super excited. I think I've mentioned in the past that any type of CRM integrator agency is so hot. We sell them quicker than anything else, usually within weeks. And this is Salesforce specific, and it's kind of cool because I'm actually going to go to Dreamforce. The founder will be there too in San Francisco next week. Any of your viewers or listeners, hit me up on LinkedIn if they're going to be there. I would love to meet them. But this one also has an AI play to it. And I know Kesley will explain a little bit more about that side of it. And she'll also talk about the financials.
Wonderful. So tell me about the gross revenue. What does that look like?
Yeah, so they're grossing right now on their trailing 12 months, just right around 1.8 million.
All right. What's the gross profit?
Right around just a tad under 1.6 million.
And the SDE, what does he take home and put in his bank account that he can spend?
Yeah, so he takes home 489.
Yeah. And what are you asking for it?
4 million.
All right. So the multiple on that is what? You're looking about a 10x net or a 2x sales. So why?
It's about an 8x of EBITDA. And obviously that is quite high, but we have some great reasonings as to why it is so high.
Tell me why. I need three good reasons.
Yes. So what they do that is a lot different than the other integrators that are floating around out there. Number one, they have an amazing reputation in the space for the work that they give their client. They don't do any marketing, no advertising, no sales, nothing like that. All of their sales are driven directly from the Salesforce partner channels and just their reputation in the space. So less competition just because their name's already known, so their foot's already in the door. They are the only company that currently holds an expert level in managed services, Einstein, and then
it's Tableau.
Yeah, so managed services, Einstein level, and then Tableau. They're the only company that holds expert levels in all of those. They really prioritize certification for all of their contractors and employees, and that's what sets them apart. As soon as Salesforce releases a new certification or anything that can be implemented, their team automatically gets licensed for it and runs those implementations. So they spend a lot of money on educating the team, getting those certifications, development, and I think that's really what sets them apart.
Yeah, sorry to jump in there. Very close to getting platinum partner status with Salesforce, like any day now. And that's massive also. And this guy, he's only the founder, obviously worked in other companies in this realm. And he just launched this business 3 years ago. The first year he's kind of getting up and running. So, it's been only a solid 2 years and he's scaled it. It's so impressive what he's done in such a short time.
Yeah. So with that high multiple, is this SBA eligible or partially?
I was going to jump in there, probably partially. So the problem right now we're coming across with SBA loans, and we've got transactions in them right now, is that the appraisal on tech companies are just coming in lower. It's harder for them to correctly appraise these tech companies. So the formal appraisal will usually come in low. We tell the buyer that from the beginning. Hey, this is probably what's going to happen. You got to come up with a difference. When that appraisal comes in, you got to go find some sort of creative financing, outside financing. Maybe my seller will carry a piece of that.
So tell me what they do. Are they a third-party integrator, value-added reseller, service provider? What is this?
So they're a managed service provider, and they specialize in the health and life sciences industry. And they provide analytics using BI and AI technology. So sales analytics, manufacturing analytics, service analytics, the whole shebang. They have custom dashboards they can do for their clients. So it's just a lot of managed service work that they do.
So what does he do? He goes in, it's a managed service work, but is every customer customized? It's custom programming, or?
To a certain extent. It's not 100% custom for each. It's kind of like pre-built out things and it's plug and play. So for example, for their sales analytics, they have like different things that they can choose from, including dashboards. So win rates, customer revenue, revenue intelligence, those are just kind of metrics and analytics that they provide for those clients through those dashboards.
Why is he selling?
Like every single one of our founders we work with, and I don't know his exact age, but I believe he's in his 30s, and he feels like he's a limited factor to kind of the growth of the company. He knows somebody with the proper, and somebody can inject some capital and just scale this sucker like you wouldn't believe, right? He's been bootstrapping it the whole time. And so, they'd obviously automatically become one of the top Salesforce analytics partner globally right out the gate. And what's really cool, John, is this founder wants to stay on. So, he just wants to bring somebody on, and he will stay on at a decent capacity, part-time capacity, but yeah, for as long as they need it. And I think that's super rare and super cool.
So who's the ideal buyer in this? Because if you said inject capital, if I put $1 in this, how am I going to turn it into $3 to $5?
It's so funny. So we think it's a strategic. We've got a few, we've got a PE firm, 2 PE firms looking at it right now. It just went on the market 2 weeks ago. The deadline is September 27th. And so 2 PE firms, strategic looking at it, and then a private buyer, first-time business owner, does IT services, CRM in a Fortune 20 company, which is healthcare, believe it or not, which is what this company does. And he could go get an SBA loan. He knows he's going to have to pick up the difference if the appraisal doesn't come in. So I believe it's going to be strategic over PE or over a first-time buyer. But again, we've had a first-time buyer buy another CRM integrator for $3.5 million. That also worked in corporate.
There. So let's jump over to financials, because I'm looking at the revenue here. 2021. About $500,000, 2022, about $1.5 million. But EBITDA 2021 was 217,000, and then 2022, 352. So you've increased sales by 3x, but your profits only increased by 50% from previous year. What's going on there?
I'll speak first before Kesley. Q4 is really big for him. And I think he just, another healthcare contract, I think coming in at 100,000, he literally is about to sign. Again, so buyers pay for they pay for the past, buy for the future, but we don't want to put that in the numbers yet, right? I want that thing signed before we even mention it. So that helps. So that's part of it. So this year, Kesley, do you know what his projection is for 2023 again? I know he told us.
I know it's over 2 million. And the thing with his business is because it is so in that Salesforce cycle as to when they release new certifications, new implementations that they can do, they very much follow that sales flow as well. So Q4 is huge for them. And he's been doing a lot to, like Christine said, he's about to sign that really big client. He has a couple that are re-signing those longer contracts because it is managed services, but he does do contracts for his clients that have been around for a long time. So he is expecting Q4 to be huge this year, like far and beyond what it has been for previous years.
And I'll add to this, one of the pitches I was on with him yesterday is that these bigger companies, he has to do SOP each time, right? And these companies are and they have to get it approved, and it's a timely situation. Mm-hmm. So that's why they're switching to managed services, and they're signing agreements with him, because it's just way easier for these big companies to do it that way.
So what is the process? How do you turn an opportunity into a customer? Does he go to trade shows, have a booth? Does he do a lot of SEO work, inbound content marketing? What's he do?
Nothing.
Which we love hearing this, and buyers love hearing that, because it's just ripe for growth, because his is word of mouth. Salesforce, I'm sure, he gets business straight from there, right? As a partner, but nothing else. So it's all organic.
He gets a lead coming in from the website, or somebody reaches out to him on LinkedIn. What does he do to turn those into customers? Does he have a conversation with them? Does he visit them? Does he do an RFP with them? Does he?
The ones from Salesforce are a shoe in the sign.
There are leads that Salesforce divvies up and he goes, hey, Salesforce says here's a lead. go get them. They're qualified because they already have Salesforce.
Yeah, because he has such a good relationship with the sales partners at Salesforce. As soon as they connect with somebody that they think would be a good fit for his services, they just connect them, and that's how he secures his clients and contracts.
Yeah. So the management team, he wants to stay aboard with what? Is that a split of equity? Says I'm going to buy 60% of the company, and he keeps 30%. What is that? What is he looking for?
I'm glad you brought that up because I spoke in detail with him, and same with the buyers. We're telling them up front, one potential wanted a 49-51 split with him, and he's not looking for a partner. He's looking to take chips off the table for something else. I'd say he's willing to carry back 25% of the 4 million. So let's say $1 million. That buyer needs to come up with 3 million, however they need to, SBA, whatever. And then that remaining $1 million, he's super open to the conversation. Is that a seller carry? Is that an equity, performance-based earnout? Like any of that, John, as you know, deals are like, it's art and a science. There's so many ways to do it, and he's open to that.
All right. So employees, how many employees does he have, or contractors? And what's the turnover ratio on that?
He has 17 full-time employees, 1 part-time, and 5 contractors. Then he has a really strong company culture. Since the beginning of the company, there's only 2 employees that are no longer with him, and that's from poor performance on their end.
Yeah. And the elephant in the room that I always like to talk about, and the reason he is willing to stay on, wanting to stay on, is that he is the salesperson and the biz dev, just like all of us in the beginning of a company. We always are, so he is doing all the sales right now and biz dev, and he is working like full time in the company. So that's a big, reason he's staying on, obviously.
Yeah. What is full time in the company? How many hours do you think he works?
He's at 50. It's a little over full time, to be honest. He's telling me about 50 hours a week, because they're just scaling so quick. He has to.
Well, that's it sounds like an interesting offer you have there, Kesley and Christine. So if you're interested in this deal, go to the Magnolia Firm, sign up for the NDA, ask to get in front of the data room, make a fully formed offer. But just remember, there are competitors to this already, some strategic buyers and private equity firms. So thanks for joining us.
Yes. And tell us that you heard about us through John's amazing podcast.
Thanks, Christine.